Hi, I'm Ian Eddy, and I'd like to talk to you this morning about my research that I'm currently doing with CPA Australia, looking at Asian management capabilities of Australian managers, and particularly trying to understand the role of CPAs in this process. So let's start with a little bit of background about this project. Think about the scope of the Asian economy. It is expected that somewhere between 600 million and 1 billion citizens of the Asian economy will reach middle income status over the coming decade. This means around about $100 trillion of new economic growth is predicted to occur. The Australian government has identified the capacity of the Australian economy to adapt and take advantage of these opportunities as its #1 economic priority. What we want to be able to do is work with Australian business to make sure our managers are able to compete in this marketplace. Every country around the world sees Asia as the future, where in around about 2030, more than 50% of total GDP of the global GDP will exist. So how do we go about doing this? First off, we want to understand where and how Australian managers compete in Asia. What are the skills they need? Once we understand their skill set, then we can start to look at how the accounting profession, particularly the CPAs, can work with managers to address these needs. So we have a series of research questions and models, and this research is still being undertaken. So Australian business managers, first off, will need to be able to be competitive and understand the creative needs of business in this environment. Business will need to be sustainable, it will need to be innovative, it will need to respond to complex cultural environments, politically diverse environments, and also very fast-moving economic systems. The pace of change is not slowing down, it's getting faster. So in order to move into this marketplace, the Australian managers in general will need to have very high quality skills in technology, in management practice. Let's have a look at how these skills can be broken up. And we can have a basic model of this. We've got a number of studies that replicate management capabilities. First off, we will need managers who have great skills in corporate governance, and overall strategic planning of organisations. They will need to be able to set up networks and work in these environments using the Chinese construct of guanxi, or connections. Secondly, they will need to have skills in strategic planning and executing plans. Those skills are going to be critical in very complex political environments, and we've seen a lot of trade negotiations in this place. Third, they will need skills in financial planning and accounting so that they can raise the capital that's necessary and deploy that and keep shareholders and bankers and investors well informed and confident of their investment strategies. Fourth, they will need great skills in data analytics so they can understand consumer markets, competitor behaviour, market structure, and business environment risks. Next, they will need cultural awareness skills and capabilities. They will need to be able to identify and understand not only the consumers, but the workers and the environments in which they operate. And finally, they will need communication skills. They will need capabilities to be able to communicate with the diverse stakeholders that they deal with and to be able to negotiate successful outcomes. So once we identify and understand these management capabilities and rank them and understand how they enable businesses to be competitive in Asia, our next issue is how can CPAs, for example, improve the corporate board performance? How can they execute better their financial planning capabilities of managers? How can CPAs impact on data analytics skills and database management skills? And how can CPAs ensure that the communication of Australian business to the consumer marketplace, to the political context and the stakeholders within Asia is effective? So developing those communication channels. So overall, this research will be beneficial for Australian business and also be beneficial for the CPA profession.